Today we want to talk to you about the compass of anxiety as a way of kind of working your way around the choppy and sometimes hard to understand world of anxiety. So it's a compass of anxiety, that's what we're going to call it, and it's one way of understanding anxiety. Not the only way, but one way. And if you're working with autistic children or young people or adults, you'll know anxiety is often around, bubbling around. Sometimes it will become so overwhelming, the young person will completely shut down or have full-on meltdowns, or do a whole number of things to kind of control their own anxiety, which may look like flapping or moving around or whatever. This compass we've developed over a number of years, Derek Wilson and myself, we found it useful when we've been working with educators and other people working in the world of neurodivergency, or really any situation where somebody's experiencing a lot of anxiety and trying to make sense of it. And this is what we've discovered. There's kind of 4 points. The first point, up in the north, if we can call it that, is to withdraw. Kind of withdraw yourself completely, and the ultimate withdrawal, of course, is shut down, full on closing down, but withdrawing into a situation kind of almost kind of hiding under the bedclothes. I don't want to go there, I don't want to do anything, I'm just going to hide away in my bedroom, I just want to keep myself to myself. The ultimate withdrawal, really. And in the moment, as I say, if it just gets too much, not just withdrawing, but to the point of shutting down completely, which we know is not a safe place. Sometimes people describe it as almost like a near-dead situation. You could walk in front of a bus when you've really shut down. If you can't relate to this, it's a bit like you've heard some really bad news, like somebody's died and you hadn't expected it, and your whole system sort of goes boom, 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 and you're really in this shutdown situation. The opposite extreme of this, which is we could say is in the south of the compass, this is the area of fantasy, focus, avoidance, sometimes called sex, drug and rock and roll. You're not going to think about it. You're going to do anything but think about really what is worrying you. So you might go deep into the world of Netflix, you might go to the cinema, but you might also spin something, you might twiddle with something, you might fiddle with something a lot, so you can completely absorb yourself in that piece. You just don't want to think about it. You'll get anywhere but think about it. So that is the south. Some people will describe children and young people as obsessing, creating a specialist interest. I always think is a better way of describing this. They've just got very, very interested in something, but sometimes that is a way of managing that anxiety. Over in the west, we have the world of increased movement, just moving a lot, flapping, maybe rocking, maybe pacing to and fro. This is the world of a lot more movement, and this is how many of us just manage our anxiety. I mean, if you've gone for a job interview and you're waiting to hear the result, you may easily be found pacing up and down, or checking that your phone still works, or vigorously cleaning all the shelves, or taking for a dog for a wild walk, just anything just to get moving, because you cannot keep still. And many autistic children we see as flapping, rocking, moving in different kind of ways, usually as a way of just managing their anxiety. Many educators have learned over the years we should respect this in them, really, and what they're trying to do to manage their own anxiety. Sometimes that very movement that they're doing is perhaps the best time to engage with them and to work with them on their education, because they're actually managing and holding their own anxiety at bay with their increased movements. And then, of course, over on the other side, in the last dimension, we have full-on loss of control, panicky feelings leading to full-on meltdowns, and that's what we would find on the other dimension of the compass there. So it starts off with just kind of mild panicky feelings kind of rising, and then really reaches that point, sometimes very, very quickly, where there is no control anymore, and anything can happen. There could be screaming, there could be shouting, could be thrown on the floor, head banging on the floor, lots of shouting, swearing, carrying on, flapping arms all over the place. It could be a mess, really. It could be a mess. And many of us have kind of known that, the dark mist coming down, you might refer to it as, or have known it in your own experience, or if you've never seen it in yourself, you've probably seen it in others in one shape or another. It's messy, everything's kind of just gone, really. So that's kind of when it gets completely lost. So again, not really somewhere we want to find ourselves on the compass, but somewhere that many of us can recognise, and among those we're working with. So they are the 4 pieces. Once you've kind of worked out where the young person finds themselves typically, and you can have a nice respectful conversation with them, because you're probably yourself somewhere on the compass when you get anxious. So you can have a, kind of, well, this is what I do, this is how I feel. The next step then is to think about what would help, what accommodations help you when you're in any one of those points. And any group you gather will have different answers to that. So if you're working around a young person, I would gather the people who love them, who care about them most, as well as any available other minds, other professionals, other people you might want to involve in that conversation, and do some creative problem solving about what might help the young person when they move into that space, and see where it leads. So make good use of that compass. If you want to read more, follow the autism link on our website. If you want some self-paced training around this stuff, we've got a load on the website. Again, just look for the autism word or the neurodiversity word. If you like this video, obviously like it. If you want more, subscribe. I'm Colin Newton. Been good talking to you. Till next time.